Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Thank you again for clicking this video. I'm really happy that you are clicking this and continually viewing this lecture. So this will be the second time that I will be seeing me, amen. And I hope you stay until the end of the video. And God bless you. Thank you.
So we are now in the part 2 of our discussion and law enforcement operation. Stay put, magwa 1 hour dito or 45 minutes. So ganun talaga ang buhay ng estudyante. I hope finish niyo ang review to para marami kayong matutunan. And let's start! So, nag-end tayo sa parts ng operational police plan. So marami siyang parts actually and I will show you yung parang sample niya. So, nakita ko sa internet ito. So, NCRPO, pamaskong handog. So, ayun. So, as you can see, may part siya, may memorandum. May, sa baba ng memorandum, may to, kung sino yung i-distributan, may from, galing kay RD, Regional Director, National Capital Region, Provincial Office, or yun, subject or yung title niya, date, reference, kung anong source. So, nanggaling siya sa memo circular, nakita nyo naman. Anong purpose niya, anong situation, mission, anong mission ng plano na to, paano yung execution niya dito. I will put it on the Google Class, don't worry. Ano yung task, kung sino yung maka-indicate dito kung sino yung mga units na gagalaw. So, RCD, R6, RTED, RHSTG, RPMU, mga units yan na provincial office. And sa baba niya, effectivity, kung kailan mag-effect immediately. Distribution, yan. Kami furnish, command group, and nanggaling kay nung PD pa si Oscar Albayalde. So, that is yung parang example ng actually, isa siyang tactical. Very, and also at the same time operational. So, yun. So, let's now go to the parts of operational police plan. So, security classification. There are four types of security classification. I will go to another documents. I will post it on our Google Class. Ito, security classification has four types. Ayan. May top secret, and under top secret, information materials that require the highest degree of protection. So, information na if kukunin niya ng other country, it will parang destroy the country if another country will get this information. So, one example is strategic plan. So, example, strategic plan ng PNP. Pag nakuha niya ng NPA, anong mangyayari? Baka masira yung bansa natin. So, meron yung secret din. So, unauthorized disclosure would endanger national security. So, siguro mapipilayan tayo, mga ganun. Mapipilayan tayo sa part ng economy, part ng national security. So, ayan. Meron din yung, sorry, I will not explain it further kasi meron. As you read naman, as you understand. So, meron din mga sample dito. Confidential naman, whose author unauthorized disclosure of which, while not endangering national security, would be prejudicial to the interests of the nation. So, for example, may example is yung routine police operation wherein pwede silang ma-ambush yung mga PNP personnel. So, meron naka-indicate dito. And lastly is the restricted part. Nakita niyo naman sa module natin, yung basis ng module natin sa law enforcement operation is the PNP Operational Manual of 2021. Actually, those are restricted information pero nada-download naman sa website nila. Kaya, yun. So, these are the security classification. Usually, they are printed actually on the first part of the document. So, secret, top secret, top secret, secret, confidential, restricted. So, those are the security classification. And usually, limited lang yung copies and pages niya. So, may indicate yan. Name of the headquarters. So, dito, may pakita, di ba? Meron sa header niya. Plan title, ipakita din dito, di ba? Yun, mas ang handog. Reference, so meron din dito. Ito is the source. So, usually, dapat merong references yan. Organizational policy or guidelines, usually naka-indicate din siya dito. Kaso, inalis niya kasi hindi ko siya makita or hindi ko lang nakita. Meron din actually dito sa reference. For example is fundamental doctrine ng PNP. So, may guideline or may basis siya. Orders of superiors or authorities, documents map, situation. Nakita niyo naman, di ba? Mission, as allocation, kung ano yung gagawin ng different units. Coordinating instruction, kung ano yung gagawin. Makikikoordinate po yung units to another unit, anong gagawin nila. Command, sino yung parang umbrella niya, kanino sila magre-report, anong signal, paano yung communication nila through radio, CP, etc. Signature, wala tayong nakitang signature kasi parang this is just a sample document. Distribution, nakita natin sa last part niya na naka-indicate dun yung mabibigyan ng copy ng police plan. So, that is the parts of operational police plan. So, last na lecture ko, wala akong sample, dito ko nilagay. So, there are general categories of police plan and other kinds of police plan. So, we will define it. Parang we will read and just say something about it. Reactive are developed as a result of crisis. So, usually, for example, this pandemic. So, after this pandemic, siguro mag-create sila ng plano. Parang plaplansyahin na nila yung kanilang gagawin, PNP, kung paano gagalaw yung tao, yung mga tauhan nila kung may pandemic na naman. So that is a reactive plan. So siguro kung ako yung PNP director or ako yung general is itatitle kong uh, pandemic plan ng police pandemic plan, PPP. So, sabi dito is develop as a result of a crisis. After a crisis has occurred, it will react. Kaya nga reactive plan. Proactive naman. So, before a crisis or na-anticipate mo siya, parang na-foresee mo siya in the future. That is proactive plan. So, parang nakita ko sa future na may war na naman. So, gagawa ko ng plano paano yung evacuation ng tao, paano yung anong gagawin ng police in that time. So, if I'm already thinking about the future, that is proactive plan. Visionary plans naman are essential statements that identify the role of the police in the community and future condition or state to which department can aspire. So usually, tulad ng kung i-search nyo sa internet, yung PNP Dreams, PNP Gloria, PNP Patrol Plan 2030, ito yung parang plano na ipapakita nila sa community to make sure that the community is to make sure that the community sees na may direction yung organization ng police. And strategic plan, these are the long range na anong gagawin ng PNP units in the long run. So we have discussed it last time. So yung operational plan are parang these are plans for a certain department kung ano yung kanilang specific na gagawin. So iba yung operational plan sa investigation unit, department, sa administrative unit, budget unit. So they have their own operational plan. And there is the standing plans, the basic framework for responding to organizational problem, functional plans, uh, operational efficiency. So these are types of operational plans. So standing plans, kung ano yung basic yung gagawin nila. So anong gagawin nila for that day, for the week, mga ganun, yung normal na basic nilang gagawin. Functional nila, so in a department, there are also different units, so ano yung function ng different units na to. Operational efficiency effective, so ano yung mga innovative na gagawin nilang mga plano to improve their parang function. Then specific, there are plans na kailangan nilang makamit. There are certain deadlines, so they make these plans. time specific, that it needs to be done immediately, tulad ng drug crackdown, crime prevention program, neighborhood cleanup, and etc. So there are other kinds of police plan, policy and procedural plan. So mostly related to the administrative function of the PNP, kung ano yung dapat gawin ng isang PNP member, etc. etc. Tactical plans, these are procedure for coping with specific situations. So, di ba merong, ito yung, this the opposite of strategic plan. So, these are parang specific plans na they need to do that will contribute to the success of the strategic plan din. Operational plan, we have discussed it, regular operating programs, kung ano yung uh, routine na ginagawa ng isang routine operation na iplano. So, yun. So, there are others, pero we will just read them, okay? So, there are steps in operational planning. So, basically, we are talking about the certain parts. So, I have discussed the parts. So, parang, uh, first, di ba, number one is ano yung reference nila. So, basically, hindi naman mga gago yung mga taga-PNP. They have the basis. So, basis nila is 1987 Constitution, basis nila is by the order of the President, basis nila is ano yung pinag-usapan nila, parang memorandum circular, clarifying the problem. So for example, malalaki yung drug problem dito sa Pilipinas. So they clarify it, they identify the problem, they locate yung problem and collect all pertinent facts. So after clarifying the problem, they will research more to see, and they develop the facts, develop alternative plans, selecting the most alternative plans and selling the plan, and evaluate. After planning, they evaluate kung effective ba yung plano. So for example, so basis ko is RA 9165, comprehensive drug law of 2002. So clarify ko yung problem, uh, maraming there is a growth in the usage of marijuana. So nag-collect ulit ako, nag-research ako dun sa mga places wherein they produce it. Kaya nakita ko na maraming nagpro-produce. So, dinevelop ko pa. So, present ko siya sa higher ups. So, ayun. Gumawa ako ng alternative plans kung paano mawala itong mga producers. So, basically, nagpo-force siya sa demand, supply reduction. So, just like what I have said last lecture. So, ayun. How operational plans are executed in the PNP. Operations in the PNP shall be directed by the police commander to attain the following objectives. So, under the fundamental doctrine, ito actually yung parang function or dapat gawin ng isang PNP member or our police organization themselves. So, they must protect persons and property. They must perceive peace and order. And lahat na mga ito. Ito yung parang natural na gagawin ng isang police. So, this can be also their objectives. Parang these are the broad objectives of the PNP. So, this can also be a reference. Yung dito, parang reference number 5. Pero more likely, kung yung ilalagay mo sa reference is dapat na isulat na may law, may memorandum circular, and nakasulat naman mga ito. Pero, tulad ng paano ba yan? Drug prevention, nasa RA 9165, and etc. and etc. And there are parang mga mga broad law enforcement operation. So we will discuss actually law enforcement operation by group in the next month, I think. So this law enforcement operation can be grouped into some. that I have put in here. So basically, it is a part of field operation. So field operation shall be directed by the police commander and the subordinate commanders, and the same shall be aimed at the accomplishment of the following primary tasks more effectively and economically. So patrol. Pag if you see or heard or know the term of patrol, it's basically just the roaming. While roaming, the observing, the showing of police presence of the PNP or the police officers. So they can be using a car, they can use their feet or a motorcycle. So while uh, while doing so, while parang moving on a certain area, on a certain beat. Beat is parang kung saan naka-assign sa isang place yung kung saan magpapatrol yung police, beat yung tawag doon. So while you are parang doing your duty on your beat, you are expressing police visibility and it can actually prevent crimes. I hope you understand that. So that is patrol. Usually, di ba, you observe na if it's night time, the police car will roam around the municipality to see if there are robbers, mga ganun. Pero the problem here is kulang yung personnel natin. Kaya there are meron pa ring mga crime na nag-happen at night, especially mga robbery or theft. Investigation. So, may unit tayo. May ito yun, department unit sa PNP na investigation. Nakalimutan ko yung sorry, nakalimutan ko yung unit. So, pero sa investigation is they try to solve crime. So, there are many crimes that happens that is natural occurring or natural occurring due to our situation. And it's the basic responsibility of the PNP member to do this one. Vice control din. So, bukod sa patrol investigation, they need to, especially sa mga juvenile, they need to, you know, enforce peace and order. And vice control sometimes destroy the peace and order of the community. It's like public disturbance, sabi dito. Through gambling, maiingay sila sa gambling din or yung nagiinuman, di ba? So, those are the PNP do vice control to prevent those or to stop those. Juvenile delinquency and control dito na pala. So, in all walks of life, the police must, especially including pala mga minors, minors kasi is they are not susceptible, they are susceptible also to being a criminal. Wherein, wala namang, sometimes they are not, yung ginagawa nilang crime is not different from an adult who is doing a crime also. Kasi dito sa Pilipinas, we do not really consider them a criminal due to the Juvenile Delinquency Act, wherein they will not undergo they will not undergo the usual justice system natin na makukulang sila. They will undergo intervention program. So parang they are not considered criminal kasi they are not, hindi sila napupunta sa piitan. So, the PNP must develop programs or plan to have a juvenile delinquency control. Siguro, junior police, wherein yung mga tambay, pwede silang maki-roam through the police car. Kiki-roaming sila. Ano. So, ganyan. And there are standard operating procedures. So, ano muna ang standard operating procedures? Are products of police operational planning adopted by the police organization. So, they are operational plans. That is a basis for them, the PNP, by the police organization to guide the police officers for guidance in their conduct of the duties and functions. So, if baguhan ka na magpapatrol, punta ka lang sa SOP number 1 at kung ano yung gagawin mo as patrolman, ganun, or may order sa iyo na magpatrol ka sa beat mo, punta ka lang sa SOP number 1 ng, so document siya. So mga plano ang mga ito actually. Meron to sa i-upload ko din sa Google Class ninyo. So from SOP number 1, Police Beat Patrol Procedure, until SOP, Anti-Illegal Drugs. So yan. So there are also samples of police plans in the PNP programs, pero nakita lang natin is yung mga acronyms niya. So tulad ng SMART, acronym is Simple, Measurable, Attainable, Realistic, and Time-Bound, na SMART plan ng PNP noon. So ginawa nila siguro kasi maraming red tape noon sa PNP. Meron din yung Police 2000 in line with the vision noon ni President Ramos na Philippines 2000. Kaya gumawa din sila ng Police 2000 na parang basic objective nila is nakasaad sa acronym ng Police Prevention, Prevention and Suppression of Crime, through COPS, Community Oriented Policing System. I hope you know yung community policing, wherein they try to use the community as a player in preventing crimes, and order maintenance, law enforcement without fear or favor, image, ready-built common support, and the others. Pero din also yung dreams. So, ayun. Dispersal dito is, I don't know, pero parang na-sense ko is dito yung time ni Lacson, I think, na lahat usually, yun siguro 70% ng, hindi ako sure, hindi kasi ako member ng PNP. Dito noon, nung time niya, na-disperse, makikita mo lahat talaga na yung mga police is nasa field. Nakikita mo sila sa community. And also the removal of scalawag sa letter M niya, strengthening of management, ganun. And meron din yung kanilang 3-point agenda, inept, ICU, inept, corrupt, and undisciplined, na they are trying to remove those official or members of the PNP who are described as ICU, inept, corrupt, and undisciplined. Meron din yung Gloria. Siguro yung purpose nila dito, kasi mostly ng number 1 is graph, is to remove yung mga may cases ng graft and corruption. May bahid ng moral, may basta ganun, may kaso ng corruption or graft. Kasi I think ito is nung right after ng People Power 2 na si Gloria na yung president and paalis si Erap. So yun. So also some details of the ICU, ganyan yung kanilang parang objective. Yun. So, okay. So, decision making, an essential element in planning. So, pag decision daw is kailangan, important sa pagpaplano. So, managerial decision. So, ano kaya ang managerial decision? Managerial means siguro top level, wherein yung mga taong nasa taas, ano yung decision nila? That is managerial decision. So, to decide to make up one's mind, decision mo para mapalitan yung pag-iisip ng tao, that is a decision. Magde-decision daw is choice mo, pagpili mo sa bawat alternatibo. Managerial decision are choices between alternative courses. So, di ba, one of the parts of operational planning, kung anong plans man yan, is alternatives. So, alternatives is like parang plan A, plan B, plan C. Parang ganun yung there should be different ways to solve or to solve a problem in planning. So, alternative 1, alternative 2, to alternative 3. So, ayun. So, these managerial decision are choices between these alternative courses of action translated into administrative behavior designed to achieve an organization's mission through accomplishment of specifically targeted goals and objectives. So, managerial decision is the choice or uh, kapasidad mo o kapasidad yung parang okay, pagpili mo ng mga alternatibo para makamit ang mission at vision ng isang plano or an organization para makamit ang minimithi. So, ayun, parang sa pero punta na tayo sa elements. So, what are the elements of managerial decision? Meron daw yung choices, alternatives, targets, and behavior. Choices, so sabi dito, police administrator must have may kapasidad dapat silang pumili. So, kapag kasi isang tao na may, for example ako, isa akong presidente na tyrant, na diktator, na yung plano ko lang yung masusunod. Paano pag gumawa ko ng plano para sa police, para sa national security natin? Tapos, yung plano ko lang, yun lang yung masusunod. So, wala nang choice ang aking chief PNP, ganun for example. Yung pangit dyan is that the chief PNP will na his, parang yung mga ideas niya, yung mga kanyang solution is hindi mapaparinggan, hindi siya parang makakount. So, yun yung problema dito. Dapat, in order for a managerial decision to be present, there must be the power of choice. Alternatives. There must be one or more possible course or possible solution or ways to achieve the goals and objectives of a plan. So, dapat may alternative 1, alternative 2. Kaya nga, dalawang strategy ang drug strategy ng Philippine drug strategy ng PADS. Kung search yun sa internet, may dalawang strategy lang yung basis nila. Either supply reduction, demand reduction and supply reduction ata. So, there must be different ways to solve a problem and you must pick the right one. Target, so you must have parang an objective, a goal that you must try to achieve para may direction ang plano. Behavior, dapat lahat ng pinaplano mo, dapat gagawin mo. So, yun lang. Those are the elements of managerial decision. So, ano kaya ang importansya ng decision sa pagpaplano? So, sabi dito, basahin ko muna. Police planning is involved in a problem-solving process. Problem solving and decision making are used interchangeably in the context of management and administration because police managers spend most of their time making decisions to resolve problems. So, part na daw ng decision making sa police planning. Kasi, when you are making decisions, you're actually, parang, you're solving the problem. Wherein your decision making is actually, parang, you're brainstorming their ideas. The police manager or police administrator are giving ideas to each other. They are choosing the right this choice in order for the police planning to parang to be fulfilled or to succeed. So that is the importance of decision making in police planning. So there are stages. Uh, Parang the decision making process consists of 3 stages as used in police planning. So yung tatlong stages is intelligence. This involves scanning the environment for the condition that requires the decision. So in decision making, dapat alam mo muna yung, for example, uh, yung problem. So alam mo yung problem, for example, you're making a police plan to, yun nga, to solve the drug problem of the Philippines, you must know every bits of information about the drug problem in the Philippines. So that is intelligence. Design. sabi dito is, actually, is a creative problem solving. So, you must be innovative. So, for example, hindi nag-work ang drug war. So, ano pa kaya ang pwede nating gawin para ma-reduce ang or masosolusyonan yung drug problem natin? So, that is design. Finding ways to finding more ways to solve the problem. Choice refers to the actual selection. So, you must have the power, the administrators, the person in position or person responsible must have the power of choice para they can be, they can syempre uh, to find the best alternative route, to find the best possible solution on each problem. So based on this concept, decision making and planning can be described as multi-step process through which problems are recognized, diagnosed, defined, alternative solutions are generated, selected, and implemented. Kaya from intelligence, knowing the problem, gathering information, to design, making the strategy or creating possible solution and possible solutions and choosing from it yung choice na yan. So it is a process. Step 1 muna, step 2, step 3. So what are some general principles involved in decision making? So there are 3 rules. Make a decision. Don't worry. Expect criticism. So make decision. Effective police managers are graded on their ability to make decisions. So hindi lang sinabing make a decision kung ano yung dinecide ng ano yung ibig sabihin nito is making the right decision. So in order for you to be an effective police manager or administrator, you must make you must have the history of making the good or the best decisions. So, rule 2, don't worry. Avoid anxiety by not worrying about decision already made. Don't be indecisive. Hindi dapat na nag-decide ka dito at magde-decide ka na naman ng iba. Mag-choose ka na naman ng iba. So that is parang part na siya ng worry, part na siyang being indecisive, and that is bad. Natawag doon is backtracking. Expect criticism. So everywhere naman, not tayo may mga tao na marites. Maraming tao na lahat ng gagawin mo is titignan. So in every kasi decision you make, you must expect criticism. So for example, yung program ni na mga plans ni na um, sino ba yun? Yung kalmo? General ba to? Yung police PNP chief pa siya. He was criticized of this program na paplantokan, di ba? So dati yan na plan, operational plan sa Davao. Tapos parang national lang nila. Parang uh, the coverage they widen. He obvious naman from the media to the other side of the color na yellow, those were the ones who criticized the Uplantokan, di ba? So, I can say that na police chief, BNP, ex-police chief, BNP, uh, ano eh, Sir General Bato was effective kasi he expected that and parang positive pa rin siya to make the program push through. What is organizational decision making? So, so decision making in a organization just like the PNP. So it refers to the formal exercise of an authority to decide based on the designated level of management to the scope of decision proportionate to the total organization. The greater the proportion, the broader the sense, the scopes of decision. So organizational decision making daw, parang nag-group siya into 3, wherein there is the upper level, middle level, lower level. So as the higher the level is, so is the parang the level of responsibility, the the level of its criticality. So upper level management is managers are those decision makers who are parang who have parang high or they are belonging the upper echelon ni na ranko. Example sa BNP, di ba? Mid-level naman, for example, are COP, uh, parang hepe ng isang municipality or province or region sometimes. So they are middle level managers. Lower level naman, siguro yung immediate supervisor. So yun, those are parang scopes niya. So there are influences on decision. There are things that affects the decision. So may internal factors and external factors. So internal factors, the specificity of organization mission and goals and objectives. So in making a decision, it must be in line with the organization's missions, goals, and objectives. Also, the delegation of sufficient authority to enable managers to carry out their assigned duties. So there is also a decision that you should make in distributing the responsibility according to the plan. So you must delegate the authorities to this unit, that unit. Parang ganun. The degree of autonomy given to management personnel at different levels in the organization. So, for example, kung, kung ano yung responsibility na ibibigay mo sa kanya or the level which you are sure that he is gonna do that job. So parang, for example is, I will give this unit the budget allocation. So, di ba, ganun, parang they are giving, totally or giving the parang responsibility. Then, or ganun, parang related siya sa number 2. The leeway granted to the managers by departmental policies, procedure, rules, and regulations. So, di ba, sabi natin is, in order for um, a police administrator or even yung low-level na managers to be an effective, to have them have decision making in police planning, they must have a leeways. So they must have the power also to make a choice. So um, they must have the parang power, they must be granted in the plan the choice to choose between the different alternatives in the plan itself. So, yeah. The availability of valid, reliable, objective information on which to base decision. So, there must be in the gathering of information in the intelligence stage, you must have gathered mga different information enough or even sobra so that in every step in that decision, in the planning, there must be there is a parang there is a parang in every alternative there is parang in every alternative it is parang good to achieve that goal, and it as the alternative is good, so is the decision making. The time and energy used to select, retain qualified managers, the nature, extent, effort of entire organizational conflict, the adequacy of the reward system in promoting timely and effective decision making. So, explain ko lang yung iba. I think you will know yung iba rin through that reasoning. There are din external factors outside na ng decision making internally or within that organization. So social instability. So sometimes the social or the environment, the Philippines, for example, is changing. The social body or yung mga tao nagbabago. So as society. So sometimes, what if uh, the focus of the strategy plan in the first yung 10 years is drug problem and biglang bumaba lahat yung parang bigla is may may problem na naman na nag-arise, siguro may problem regarding the crime of organized crime. So you must also uh, adjust your plans to cater the different problems that is attained, that is parang that has arisen. So social instability, rising expectation, kung yung president is rising his or her expectation, parang hindi siya hindi siya approve sa plano mo, na parang gusto niya is mas marami pa professional ethic. So, syempre, dapat inline yan sa human rights ng tao, legal constraints, tulad din actually ng professional ethics na dapat, kaya nga, dinadagdag yung paglagay ng body cam whenever there is police operation or law enforcement operation. Those are legal constraints. Winding resources. So, hindi naman unlimited yung resources ng police. Namamalan din siya. Political conflict, pabago-bago yung president. Technological change, wherein as technology is improving, so is crime. So, the plan must uh, improve also. Ayun. So, just read this thing. So, there are also situational variables. Ayan. Just read those. And personal variables. And, of course, the steps. The awareness of the need to make a decision. Ayan. So, that ends my presentation. I did not, you know, discuss this one kasi it is you can already understand that by common sense. So thank you for listening and have a good day. Thank you. And night or night.